Luckily, land in northern Ghana is suitable for a variety of crops. You can easily grow legumes like soybeans, groundnut or cowpea, cereals like rice, maize or millet, tubers like yam, cassava, and even vegetables like cabbage, onion, and green pepper. These different kind of crops have different nutrient requirements and affects the soil balance differently. They are also susceptible to different pests and diseases. To keep your land fertile and strong for a long time, it is important to routinely change the crop you cultivate on particular fields. Crop rotation comes with several benefits. In this message, we are going to teach some of the benefits you can get from rotating your crops and also how to develop a suitable crop rotation plan specifically for your field. Now let's mention a few benefits of crop rotation. If you have a recurring problem with some particular pests and diseases on your field, practicing crop rotation can help you eliminate them without using pesticides or insecticides. This is because some pests and diseases can only affect or attack specific crops. This means that when you change the crop cultivated on that field, the diseases and pests will not have a susceptible host to attack. Hence, they will either migrate to a different area where they can get the types of crops they want or will die off on the field. For example, a very common pest of maize is the stalk borer. This pest feeds on the maize plants and causes a significant reduction in productivity of the crops. Now, if you identify this pest on your field and grow groundnuts the following year, you will be eliminating these pests from your field because they do not like groundnut. The second benefit of crop rotation is that it helps you rejuvenate the soil on your field. Legume cultivation is very vital for this purpose. This is because legumes like groundnuts, cowpea, and soya have the ability to fix nitrogen in the atmosphere into the soil and feeds mainly on phosphorus and potassium. Such crops are called light feeders because they require less nutrients from the soil. Maize and other cereals rely heavily on nitrogen and less on phosphorus. So, by rotating the cultivation of maize and groundnuts plus other crops, you ensure a continuous balance of the nutrients in the soil. The first thing you need to know to enable you draw a good crop rotation plan is to identify the type of soil you have on your field. Knowing the soil type helps you to know exactly which crops can be successfully cultivated on them. You can accurately do this by getting your soil samples to SARI in Nyankpala for testing. However, if you cannot afford to do this, you can refer to the crop history of your community to know exactly which crops have successfully been cultivated. By doing this, you will know which crops to include in your rotation plan, even though you might miss out on some crops that have never been tried there but could have done well. The second step is to look back on your crop cultivation history on the field for the last 4 or 5 years. If you have only been cultivating one particular crop, then it is time to grow a different crop. For example, if you have been growing maize alone, then it is time to try some light feeders such as vegetables or legumes. On the other hand, if you have only been cultivating legumes, then trying maize will be a good idea as it will make use of the nitrogen that has been incorporated into the soil by the years of legume cultivation. The third step is to decide on a long-term plan for cultivating the field that allows your field to not be burdened. You can decide on any of the following plans based on your main focus crop and how the field has been cultivated in the past. You can grow a combination of groundnuts, cowpea, or soya for year 1 and then change to maize in the following year and keep repeating this cycle. 2. You can grow a combination of groundnuts, cowpea, or soya for 2 years in a row. Grow maize for a year and then go back to the legumes. You can also grow legumes followed by maize and then go to vegetables. The good thing about crop rotation is that It is very flexible. You just need to remember one very important principle. Do not follow heavy feeders with each other. Always have a light feeder between. Otherwise, you will not be making good use of your crop rotation schedule. You can also have a plan where shallow feeders like maize are followed by deep feeders like cotton. Occasionally, you can plant a root vegetable to reduce the burden on the land before you go back to interchanging the maize with soybeans, cowpea, or groundnut. Remember to not cultivate cereals after other cereals for extended periods of time. Always make sure you cultivate a legume or vegetable crop between to reduce the burden on the soil. If you have more than one piece of land for farming, you can grow maize on one and a legume on the other land. In the following season, you will then interchange them. This way, you will be able to ensure that your fields are always fertile and able to support your crops every year. Practicing crop rotation will also help to eliminate the diseases and pests that affected your crop in the previous season. However, if you only have one piece of land, you can practice intercropping, which will also help you maintain your soil fertility and control weeds and insect infestations. Thank you.